Here we are told that one of the roots of the equation x to the fourth minus 10x to the third plus 39x squared minus 34x minus 50 equals 0 is 4 minus 3i. We are told to find the other three roots. Now, one root we could tell right off the bat is going to be the conjugate of 4 minus 3i, which is going to be 4 plus 3i. So we wrote both those over here. Now we just need to find the other two roots. Now notice what we have written right here. Okay, this was mentioned in a couple of other videos where if we have something raised to the fourth power like we do here, then we know first that the terms are going to alternate from negative to positive to negative to positive, and also we know that the constant term is going to be all the roots multiplied together, and then also we know that the first term is going to be all of them added together. So we know what that number is when we add them together. If we take a look up here, we know that it's going to be a negative 10. So we have negative here, so R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus R4 would have to be a positive 10. We also know that if we multiply all the roots together, we're going to have to get a negative 50. So R1 times R2 times R3 times R4 is going to be negative 50. Now we know two of the roots already. We know one to be 4 minus 3i, the other to be 4 plus 3i. So if we look over here, R1 plus R2, if I add those together, the negative 3i and the plus 3i would cancel, and I have a 8 right here. So I can subtract a from both sides, so I'm going to get R3 plus R4 equals 2. And also, if we look over here, if we multiply everything together, R1 times R2, we would get 16 minus 9i squared, which would be 25. So that's 25, and then R2 times R4 also multiplied together equals negative 50. So divide both sides by a 25, and we're going to get R3 times R4 equals a negative 2. So from here what I can do is I can take both values, R3 plus R4, and then the R3 times R4, and I can create a simpler equation where that's going to be the coefficients of a second degree polynomial. And so R3 plus R4 is going to be 2. That's going to be right here with the x term. And then the negative 2, when you multiply them, is going to be your constant term. And remember, you alternate between negative and then positive. So negative 2, and then positive, but then this over here is going to be negative 2, so a positive times a negative makes that a negative 2. So I have here an equation that I can solve. We use quadratic formula. It's going to be the easiest. So we get this mess right here. Make sure you simplify. You get 2 plus or minus 2 square root of 3 over 2. You can divide every part by 2. So when I do that, I have 1 plus or minus 1 square root of 3, and that is going to be my other two roots. So I have 4 plus 3i, and then 1 plus square root of 3, and then 1 minus square root of 3.